Justice for All, a landmark Supreme Court judgment on land allotment policies. Welcome to Justice for All, the podcast where we explore pivotal legal decisions that shape our society. I am Bharadwaj, your host today. In this episode, we will discuss a landmark Supreme Court judgment involving land allotment policies in erstwhile Andhra Pradesh and present Telangana, policies that raised questions of fairness, quality, and public good. At the center of this case are Government Orders 243 and 244, which govern the allocation of government land to various groups, including politicians, judges, journalists, and weaker sections of society. This decision sheds light on issues of transparency and accountability in distributing public resources. So let's break it all down. What were these policies? What was contested in court? And what does the judgment mean for governance and justice? Let's dive in. First, some background. Back in 2005, the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh government issued GOs 243 and 244. These policies were designed to manage land allotments in urban and semi-urban areas. Categories of beneficiaries included a wide range of MLAs, MPs, judges, journalists, government officials, and also individuals from weaker sections. But here's the controversy. Critics argued that these policies unfairly prioritized privileged groups over those genuinely in need. For instance, judges and legislatures who often have considerable resources were being offered land at concessional rates. This sparked public outcry and legal challenges, petitioners claiming that the policies violated Article 14 of the Constitution, which guarantees equality before the law. The controversy first reached the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh High Court. The High Court partially addressed the issues, quashing certain allotments made under related government orders like GO 522. However, the High Court did not fully examine the constitutional validity of GOs 243 and 244. Instead, it focused on the implementation flaws and directed the government to reform its approach. This left the broader questions about fairness and transparency unresolved, questions that ultimately landed in the Supreme Court. Now, let's turn to the Supreme Court judgment. This case was a game changer. Court examined multiple aspects, and here are the key outcomes. First, it upheld the High Court's decision to quash GOs 419 to 425 and GOs 551, which facilitated arbitrary land allotments. The Supreme Court found these orders unconstitutional and directed that all allocated land be returned to the government. Second, the court allowed challenges to GOs 243 and 244. The High Court had earlier ruled that these challenges were barred by constructive res judicata, meaning they could not be contested again since they were not questioned in the first litigation. The Supreme Court rejected this argument, stating that the earlier case focused on specific allotments, not the constitutional validity of the foundational policies. Third, the court emphasized the need for policies to align with constitutional principles. It criticized the preferential treatment given to groups like MLAs, MPs, and judges, questioning whether this truly served public interest or merely benefited affluent individuals at the expenses of the state. This judgment is significant for several reasons. First, it upholds the principle that public resources like government land must be allocated transparently and equitably. The court made it clear that policies cannot favor privileged groups unless there is a compelling and justified public interest. Second, the decision highlights the importance of Article 14 of the Constitution, which ensures equality before the law. The Supreme Court questioned why individuals who already own land or housing should benefit from government largesse, especially when weaker sections of society lack basic shelter. Finally, the judgment calls for better governance. It sets a precedent that arbitrary or discriminatory policies will not stand up to judicial scrutiny. Moving forward, governments must ensure that land allotment policies prioritize transparency, fairness, and the needs of the genuinely disadvantaged. So, what does this mean going forward? The Supreme Court judgment is a powerful reminder that public resources must serve the public good. It sends a clear message State policies must uphold constitutional values, especially equality and fairness. As we wait to see how the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh and present Telangana government responds, whether by amending or replacing GOs 243 and 244, the broader takeaway is clear. In a democracy, every policy must stand the test of accountability, and every citizen deserves a fair share of the nation's resources. Thank you for tuning into Justice for All. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share, and let us know your thoughts. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.